Hello and welcome to Reunited, and it feels so meh. As always, I am your host, Adam, and with me is Alex, as always. Hello, Alex.
Adam, how's it going today, man?
I am very well. And yourself?
Yes. I'm alright. I'm moving right now.
Moving.
So it kind of sucks.
Moving on out?
Moving on up, actually.
Are you really, though?
No, I'm not going to a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Not going to the east side?
Nope.
Well, that's alright. You'll get your piece of the pie soon.
Alright, so today's episode we are joined by Lior Shragg. This is Lior's second time on the podcast.
Again, I was going to say, yeah, he's with us again.
But we fucked up the first episode and lost the audio recording, so you didn't get to hear it. It was a real gem.
Yeah, it was good.
Probably the best episode that's ever and will be recorded, so it's really unfortunate that.
Yeah, we like this one is going to just be terrible in comparison.
Yeah,
but
we really gave some established podcasts a run for their money with that episode. But
yeah, we also had Michael Jordan on that episode, so it's a real shame.
Yeah, and the ghost of Michael Jackson somehow.
Former President Jimmy Carter.
It was a great episode.
George Herbert Walker Bush was on too. It was crazy. We just had Skype calls in and in and in. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was awesome. But anyway, this one isn't going to be that at all.
No.
We're just going to hang out with Lior for a little while.
Yeah, which I guess is okay too.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's kind of a letdown, but it's fine. So this is episode with Lior version 2.0.
Episode number we don't know yet.
We'll figure it out. So we are going to start the episode a little differently today.
Yeah.
We are going to start with
a game.
Yeah, we're gonna play a game. It's called the comedian game. Lior and I, and Adam as well, we're all really big fans of stand-up comedy. Mm-hmm. And Lior and I came up with this game a couple months back, where it's essentially, fuck, marry, kill, but with comedians. Except you're seeing a show, you're hanging out with, and then for lack of a better third one, you're murdering the last person. You have to murder them.
Murder.
So the three of us are gonna play this game a little bit. I have pre-selected these, and I put them in groups, and there is a theme to it. So we will see if anybody can figure these out. They're not overly terrible.
For those two people playing at home.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and comment on the YouTube page with your own.
Yes. Ooh, very good. Yes.
And I think the fun part is the reasoning behind it. So really put some thought into it.
Yeah, and
this will be on the midterm, so
right.
And take notes.
An unannounced prize will be given to the person who gets all of them right.
All right, so we are going to start off. Let's go with this one. Jerry Seinfeld, Brian Regan, and Jim Gaffigan.
Oh man.
Can we guess the theme?
Oh well, our listeners
Clean
are going
comments.
to have to guess the theme.
Yes.
All right. So thanks, Lior. So you already gave that one away. We don't have a prize yet.
No. Well, it's fine. It's all good.
That's fine.
It's all.
We weren't going to give them a prize anyway.
Nope. No one's even going to listen to begin with. So we're just going to play.
Secret's out.
It is clean comics is the theme for this one. None of these folks use any of the adult language that we often use on the show.
No dirty words.
So they're better than us. Anyway.
And this one's really tough, but I think I have an answer.
All right. Take it away.
I think I would see Brian Regan. For as long as I can remember that I've been listening to comedy, he's been one of the people, clean or not, who's made me just laugh the hardest. He just has a way about observational comedy that's just unbelievable. So see Brian Regan. I think I'd want to hang out with Jerry. And as much as I love Jim Gaffigan, I think you got to kill Jim.
You're murdering Jim Gaffigan.
In cold blood.
You just can't pass up the opportunity to hang out with Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. I hear that. Adam, you want to go?
Yeah, see, I have kind of a similar... you can't pass up the opportunity to kill Jim Gaffigan. No. I kid. I'm kind of similar in Lior's choosing them. I'm going to switch a couple around. I would hang out with Brian Regan, I think, because, like you said, he's one of for as long as I've known stand-up comedy or been into it, he's been one of my favorites. Like you said, Lior, clean or not. I think he's just a really funny guy, and I think he's a genuinely cool guy too. So I'd love to hang out with him. I would see Jerry Seinfeld because I've heard that he's not a very nice guy and not very fun to be around. So I think it would be great to see him. I guess if anything for historical purposes, because he's like one of the most famous comedians ever. And then I would kill Jim Gaffigan. I'm not wild about Gaffigan.
No, you're not
a huge Gaffigan guy.
That's fine. You can do whatever you want.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
You could be wrong. That's fine. I am actually going to differ from the two of you. I am going to see Jim Gaffigan, hang out with Brian Regan for all of the reasons that you guys said. I think I don't know, I relate with him because like he is kind of like a dopey guy, and so am I.
Because you're very clean.
I don't do. Yeah, I'm a very clean person. I don't do a lot of things well, so his comedy is kind of centered around him, being kind of a dope, and it's really funny. And I'm gonna kill Jerry Seinfeld.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think he's really funny.
Careful, you just popped up on an FBI list.
I know.
Hate crime! Hate crime!
He is a national treasure.
I think he's very funny, but I never really got into him a whole lot. He was a little before I was old enough to like understand some of the concepts, and I never really watched Seinfeld because it just wasn't on when I was growing up.
Oh man!
So I don't have an emotional attachment to him at all, like you guys.
Well, that's okay.
So yeah, that's mine. This next one. How about Norm Macdonald, John Mulaney, and Kevin Nealon?
Okay, I also know the theme, but we should pause, right, to let the audience pretend to guess.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead, audience. Take your best guess.
Guess away.
Oh, nice guess, but it was wrong.
You idiots. What was it, Lior?
People associated with Saturday Night Live.
Very good.
All of these were writers and actors on Saturday Night Live. But they were comedians first.
Yes.
Was my big point. They were stand-ups first, did SNL, and then none of them are on SNL right now.
Nope.
Because Mulaney had his own show that just got canceled.
Yep.
Oops.
Womp womp. With
Anyway.
former SNL alum Nassim Pedrad.
That's true.
And Martin
That
Short.
is true.
And Martin Short, yeah.
Maybe the bigger name of those two.
And it's just really unfortunate that John Mulaney's show got canceled because he's like the funniest human being on the planet.
really
Yeah, but his show wasn't the funniest show on the planet.
I am hanging out. I am hanging out with John Mulaney.
Okay.
I am seeing Norm Macdonald, and unfortunately, I'm killing Kevin Nealon. And I really enjoy Norm Macdonald's dry sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm going to go see him. And John Mulaney is the funniest person on the planet. So I am going to hang out with him, and then that just leaves Kevin Nealon dead, dying in a gutter.
I think I'm going to flip what you had. I'm going to see John Mulaney. I'm going to hang out with Norm Macdonald because the guy's like a loose cannon. You never know what he's going to do or where the night will take you. And then I'm also going to kill Kevin Nealon. Kevin Nealon's stand-up really never kind of sunk in with me.
I think it's really funny.
He's a super funny dude, and I really like the interview things that he does with the Laugh Factory. But his stand-up itself never really just like hit home with me.
Yeah.
I like his use of wordplay. So I think it's really funny.
I think I would... It's tough. I agree with both of you, but I think I'm going to have to go with the one that Alex chose. Because I think Kevin Nealon's a really funny guy, and I think he's probably one of like the best late-night guests because he's just really funny.
Yeah, man.
But, yeah, no, I've never really been wild about his stand-up, and I think... Alex, I agree with you because Mulaney would, even though he's like sober now, he'd be a lot of fun to just like go and hang out with, out in public.
Even though he's sober, he says.
He's still just the funniest person on the planet. All right, here we go. Thomas Middleditch, Zach Woods, and Kumail Nanjiani. What is the theme?
Man.
What Lior knows the theme. Can Adam guess it?
I'm guessing, is it Silicon Valley?
Yep.
Yeah.
All three
I'm
of these
actually
actors
really
are on Silicon
surprised that
Valley.
you didn't include TJ in that list.
It originally was, but I put him in a different list.
Oh, okay.
He's with another one that's there. It's a solid list. Don't worry. All right, Adam's turn to go first.
Okay, I would. Oof, it's tough. It's not that tough, actually. I would probably hang out with Camille.
All right.
I would. I'd go see the Thomas guy because I don't really know who he is.
Okay.
Which one is he on the show?
He what's his character's name? He's the main character.
Oh,
I'm blanking on his name. Lior, can you help me?
What?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
What is the main character's name on Silicon Valley? I'm blanking.
Well, now you're.
This is great.
This
This is great radio. This is great radio.
Oh my god! What?
I watch it every week and I can't think of his name.
I know. T.J. Miller plays Ehrlich.
Yeah.
Zach Woods plays Jared.
Yeah, or original Jared.
Yeah.
OJ.
OJ.
Well,
Richard.
All right,
anyway,
we'll edit.
Richard. That's
Richard
right, thank
Hendricks.
you.
Yep, there we go. He plays Richard Hendricks.
I was going to see a stand-up because I don't know, it might be interesting, and I would probably, I hate to say this, but kill Zach Woods because he is definitely more of a improv guy. I bet a stand-up isn't very good because that usually, if you're good at one, you're generally not very good at the other.
Yeah, Thomas Middledish is also a improv guy.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah,
The two of them are pretty funny.
yeah,
They're pretty good improvisers.
they are, but that usually does not translate well to stand-up. So
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna hang out with Thomas Middleditch because I'm a little more familiar with some of his work, and he's not like Richard Hendricks on the show at all. He's like really over the top and crazy, and I think he's really really funny. I am seeing Camille because he's the best stand-up out of the three of them, and unfortunately, I'm killing OJ.
You're killing Dr. Chops.
I'm killing Dr. Chops.
So
yeah.
that's actually the precise reason why. And this is the first one we've all three had very different ones. I'm gonna hang out with Zach Woods, and we can just play jazz together all day.
He used to be a jazz trumpeter as well.
So we can just
did he?
hang out, play jazz.
Yeah.
talk
well,
about
now I'm
comedy.
switching.
And you've locked in. So I'm gonna
Damn it.
hang out with Zach Woods. I'm gonna
sorry,
see
Zach.
Kumail, like Alex said, because he's the best stand-up, and I'm gonna kill Thomas because I've actually never seen his stand-up. So, by default, Kumail wins. But I don't think.
So he's dead.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the one with T.J. Miller in it. All right, Eric Andre, T.J. Miller, and Chris D'Elia.
Ooh.
Can we guess the theme?
Good hair.
Exactly.
Is that really it?
No, they're all just like batshit
Oh,
crazy.
okay. I mean, they all do have great hair.
Yeah, they all do. All right, I will go first. I am going to see TJ. No, fuck, this is a tough one. This is really hard. I think I'm gonna see Chris D'Elia.
Okay.
Kill Eric Andre as much as that hurts me to say, because I think he's hysterical, and I would love to hang out with him, just because I literally have no idea what's going on. Like, he would hit, like, literally, there's 1,000 different things that could happen any minute. But I'm going to hang out with TJ Miller, just because I think that would be just an awesome night to go hang out with just a crazy person, I guess, who is hysterical.
I am actually going to do the exact same thing as you, Alex, just because, as you said, TJ Miller is such a fucking wild card. Like, you could get into the most ridiculous and unknown things, and it would still be hilarious. Lior?
Oh man, I really don't want to be lame, but I think Alex had it right. I think because TJ is one of my favorite comedians, but I know his material so well that I think I'd rather hang out with him.
Yeah.
D'Elia just put out a new special, which I've seen, but
it's hysterical.
It's really, really good. So I'd probably like to go see that. And
Yeah.
as much as I would regret it to kill Eric Andre, although I would be really afraid of an Eric Andre zombie, which would be the craziest zombie.
Oh man, that's the most naked zombie
Like,
ever.
picture Ronald McDonald as a zombie.
All right, so Alex, I think we have time for one more. So pick your best one.
I want to. We're gonna do 2. Fuck you.
God damn it. So much for trying to time this episode.
They're fun. I have 2 really good ones.
Let's do a speed round.
All right. Nick Kroll, Steve Ranazizi, and Jason Mantzoukas. The theme?
The League.
It's they're all actors on The League.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to... I think I'm going to see Steve Ranazizi, hang out with Nick Kroll, and kill Jason Mantzoukas.
Okay,
Because he's not actually Rafi.
I'm also going to see Steve Ranazizi. I only recently got into his stand-up, but it's really good.
It's hysterical.
I don't know why it took me so long to start listening to it. So I'm going to go see Steve. I'm going to hang out with Mantzoukas, and then I'm going to kill Nick Kroll.
I'm making a Ruxin face right now, and you guys can't see it.
I am going to hang out with Steve Ranazizi because I think he's probably almost exactly like his stand-up and his character, which would be a lot of fun to hang out with. I would see Nick Kroll because he can do pretty much everything. He's one of the few guys who actually can do like stand-up and sketch.
Stand-up and characters and improv. Yeah, he's like a total package kind of guy.
And I would kill Mantzoukas. Justin,
Rafi Ba!
I know he's absolutely nothing like Rafi, but just in case.
In case it's like a Rafi werewolf at like 11, or like turns into Rafi for 2 hours.
Exactly. Like he's got like some weird Jekyll and Hyde thing going on where he's actually like every once in a while he just hulks out and turns into Rafi, and we can't have that in the world.
No.
All right, last one.
This is the hardest one on here. Pete Holmes, Kyle Kinane, and Hannibal Buress.
Get the fuck out.
This one is so hard to
Abstain.
pick. What is the connection?
Chicago, I'm assuming, right?
Chicago.
Yes, they all came up in Chicago at the same time.
Oh my god.
This is tough.
This
is a
this
tough
one isn't as difficult for me.
Then you
No?
go first.
Okay.
Because you know I'm not super huge on Pete Holmes like you guys are.
Yeah, you could die. You could just die. Right
I know.
now for saying that.
I know, so I'd probably kill him
You
just
can make
because
a
the other two.
suicide pact with Pete Holmes.
There you go.
There we go. That's perfect. I would, yeah. So I'd kill Pete Holmes. I would. Yeah, I know. Calm down. Kill Pete Holmes. I would hang out with Kinane and go see Burris.
Wow.
This is such a tough one for me.
All right, go for it.
I think.
Snap decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Pete Holmes. Hang out with Hannibal.
You just said that because you didn't want to sound racist.
I was going to make the joke that I would kill him because, but never mind. I felt it was in poor taste.
Beat you to it.
I think I'm going to hang out with Hannibal because his stand-up seems. This is applicable to both of them. It's them. There's like no buffer.
No, their life is out there.
I think unfortunately I'm killing Kyle Kinane.
Oh my god, that's like.
See, I hate you for that. We mutually hate each other for our decisions.
I wouldn't want to hang out with Pete Holmes because he's turned into like he's really vegan and really like super health conscious.
Boring.
And I'm not.
Wait, what?
Who knew? So I think I would get annoyed with all of that, so I wouldn't want to hang out with him. But his stand up is like so great.
All right,
Okay,
Lior.
so I've thought for the last 2 minutes long and hard about this. I'm gonna see Pete Holmes.
Yeah.
Even though out of the three, in terms of stand up, I think he's my least favorite.
Okay.
I'm still gonna see him. And I'm gonna pull a Hunger Games Blueberries with Hannibal Buress and Kyle Kinane, so no one has to die. No. I'm gonna kill Burris and hang out with Kinane.
Woo.
Which is,
Yikes.
I know, I mean, it's like...
Yikes.
This was the hardest one on there.
No one's happy. This
is the hardest one on there.
God. Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
folks. That was the comedian game.
Yeah, it's always fun. You can play it at home if you want.
Usually
Lior and I
play it
just
over
text these to
yeah.
each other. Yeah. Because he's in Arizona, and it's far away. We can't physically speak to each other. That's
I'm in
why.
Arizona for 7 more days.
7 more days, then you're back in the Midwest.
Back in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So now we have our reoccurring segment called
All the small things.
All the Small Things. All the small things is the little things in life that can either make your day or break it. My small thing for the week was this very morning I watched Chelsea lift the Premier League trophy, and during the game, the announcer was talking about one of the players who has some injury problems. There's a term in England for like a small injury that just won't go away, and it's called niggly. And Lior and I, when we first heard it, we had to look that word up because we thought it was racist.
It definitely has like a racist feel to it.
It sounds super racist.
It sounds like a word that nobody can say in this episode.
Yeah, but the announcer, he said this player has had a couple of nigs. No, he said nigglies. A couple of nigglies. He's had a couple of nigglies this season, and I'm sitting alone in my apartment I'm sleeping on the floor because I don't have a bed. I moved it out. And I'm just laughing hysterically to myself at 7, it was like, well, game started at 9. And they said it in the first half, and it was just hysterical to me. Just the word nigglies.
All right. My small thing is when people make decisions and tell you something and then back out at the last second. For example, when I go looking for an apartment, find a really cool, really cheap apartment, the guy says, I'd love to offer you this apartment. I think we're going to get along well. And then the next day texts me and says, oh, hey, by the way, a couple guys stopped by yesterday, and I think I'm going to choose them instead. So, sorry. Piece of shit.
Woof, that's right.
Dick move. Burn in hell, you bastard.
Oh, God, I know. And it wouldn't even bother me that he chose somebody else. What bothers me is that he didn't even mention that anyone else is going to come look at the apartment, and that he told me that I would be living there.
It's the worst.
Dick.
The absolute worst. All right, Lior.
All right, so mine's a positive. But a couple days ago, I received a piece of handwritten snail mail in the mail, which totally I wasn't having a bad day or anything, but just totally made me smile from ear to ear. It was just, because who gets snail mail anymore? And the person who wrote it was so thoughtful, and it was so nice of them. And in this day and age of all this technology and all these texts and tweets and fleeks and all that stuff, it's so nice and refreshing to receive a piece of handwritten mail. It was really nice.
Was it from Grandma Shragg?
It was not from any relative either, which made it so almost even more so.
That's even better.
Yeah.
That's even better.
That is pretty cool.
Well, good on you, Leo.
Yeah. Wait.
And that was all the small things.
All the small things.
Stay tuned, everybody. We will be right back with segment 2, where we interview our guest, Lior, after a quick word from our sponsor. You know, Alex, the other day I was at my wife's funeral, and the worst thing happened.
Really? What's that? Oh, and sorry for your loss.
No, don't worry about that. But I was giving the eulogy, and a sudden urge came over me.
What kind of urge?
Well, Alex, I shit my pants.
Adam, didn't you remember to take your poops no more beforehand?
Oops, no more. What's that?
Well, Adam, it's the industry's leading constipation inducer. But don't take my word for it. Just listen to one of their many satisfied customers.
Before Poops No More, I was a real mess. Nothing ruins a quinceañera faster than a 35-year-old shitting his pants. After Poops No More, I'm the life de la fiesta.
Poops No More. It'll get you there.
Thank you to our sponsor, Poops No More, and welcome back to Reunited, and it feels so Matt for segment number 2. If you're just joining us, I'm Adam, your host, and with me, as always, is our co-host, Alex.
Hello.
And our guest, Lior Shragg. Hello, Lior.
Hey!
Luckily for you, we are going to interview you now, so get ready, bud.
Bring it on.
These are going to be just hard questions, and you have to answer.
Hard questions.
Yeah, you have to answer hard. So that got weird. But anyway, we have a couple of viewer questions that we're going to start with.
Yeah, finally.
Here is the first one. Is it okay to eat cheese if there's mold on it? Because some people would argue that cheese already is a mold. What do you think?
Well, I'm always a proponent for ignoring expiration dates on food. I think that most of the time you'll be fine, unless you can like see the chunks in your milk or something like that. So I would say cheese, yeah, you're good. Eat it. You're not going to know the difference anyway.
Yeah. I'm not eating that cheese, but go right ahead, buddy.
Yeah, man, I'm all for eating cheese, but if there's mold on it, I'm done.
All right,
You can
next.
also like cut out the mold too.
This is like,
Yeah, but you never know.
Brown spot on the apple.
like this is
just
like
like-
such a Jewish thing to say, Lior. Like, just cut the mold off the cheese. It's fine.
You don't want to throw away like 90% of a perfectly
It's-
good piece of cheese.
it's
if there's
still
one
good
piece of mold on
cheese.
it.
I wish one of us had a Seinfeld impression right
Yeah.
now.
I got nothing.
I was going to try it, and then I decided against it.
All right, next question. If your roommate was a dinosaur, what dinosaur would it be?
Oh my god.
And why? And why?
Don't forget the why. That's the important part.
Right.
Yeah.
So, gun to my head, I think I really hate driving or getting anywhere in general. I always wish I could just be places. So I think I'd choose a pterodactyl as my roommate, and then he could just fly me. He or she. Women can be dinosaurs too. It's 2015.
Grow up, America.
He or she could fly me just instantly.
Pterodactyl
wherever I needed to
2016.
Yeah, that's what we're voting for president. And it's better than the
Clinton
Republican.
pterodactyl.
Yeah. It's better than anything the Republican Party's thrown out. And I only know that because
Hey-o.
Adam's complaining about it.
All right, so question number 3. If one actor or comedian could be your best friend, Lior, who would it be?
Oh man, this is tough. Oh, God, this is so hard.
My gut's telling me Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just
Oh,
that's what my
actor or
gut.
comedian.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
my gut
that's
is
a great
just telling
best
me
friend.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, like right off the bat, because like I tend to talk shit, and if your best friend is Arnold Schwarzenegger, nobody's beating
No
me
one's
up.
messing with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So along similar lines, I think it would be really fun to have like Jackie Chan, and then it could be like
Ooh.
Rush Hour, but the Jewish version.
What? Yeah. I can't. I wish I had a. I don't even know his name. What the fuck? Chris Tucker.
Chris
Tucker.
Tucker,
Thank
yeah.
you. Wish I had a better Chris Tucker.
The only way that movie could have been better is if instead of Chris Tucker, it was like Howard Mandelbaum, just like complaining and pushing up his glasses the whole time while Jackie Chan.
Lee, do you understand the vibes coming out of my mouth?
Slow down, you're in traffic. But I think as fun
God
as
damn it,
Jackie Chan
Lee.
would have to be as a sidekick.
Oi!
Oy vey.
Oh my god, this is such a hard question. I think.
Lee, you schmuck.
Well, okay.
We're not
it
done with
obviously
this, Lior.
couldn't be we're not done with this bit, yeah. I'm
We,
done very.
we have to beat it dead.
You keep answering the question. We'll just do Jewish rush hour jokes.
We'll be over here making fun of that.
Actually, the real Jewish rush hour is just 5 people in a car telling the driver that they're taking the wrong route and that they should take different routes. Each person's saying a different way to go.
I was gonna say the real Jewish rush hour is 5 o'clock in Queens.
Oh boy, this would be anti-Semitic, but Lior's Jewish, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's totally okay. We have a Jewish friend.
I'm glad to fulfill that component of your lives.
Thank you.
Token Jewish friend.
You're our shield against anti-Semitism.
So now we can say a lot of things. Anyway, who is your celebrity best
Yeah, I
friend,
still
Lior?
haven't answered the question. I don't think that I would take some like huge, awesome Hollywood hunk because they would just make me look like a piece of trash.
Yeah, you're
all day.
never getting.
I
Any
think
action
I'm
on
gonna
that?
rehash kind of an answer from before, but I think Hannibal Buress would be a great like sidekick / black best friend.
He would just flick
Well,
it on there.
that was an odd.
He would just flick it on there for flavor.
Or going the obvious route, Donald Faison
True.
for a BBF.
Oof, that's a good one.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll go with that. We'll go with Donald Faison,
Eagle.
and I could just eagle all day.
All right, so those were our viewer questions.
Thank you, viewers. And if you have any more questions, please send them our way.
Yeah. So we're gonna dive in to the thing that makes Lior unique. Lior is an ethnomusicologist, folks. And if you don't know what that means, don't feel bad.
Cricket
No
noise,
one does.
Cricket noise.
Nobody knows what it means. Lior and the other ethnomusicologists are the only people that know what that means. So, Lior, could you please explain what that means?
Yeah. Ethnomusicology is the study of music and world cultures. So it's kind of a cool hybrid combination of anthropology, musicology, performance, theory, so much awesome things all bundled up into one super cool field.
Yeah.
So if I'd have to guess what like that would practically translate into a real world thing, you're the guy who like collects, collaborates, and then puts out all those shitty coffee house like world music CDs, right?
No, those are the people that we shake our heads at. No, basically the best way to think of me is like the Indiana Jones of music.
Well,
Wow.
that seems like a bit of a stretch.
Basically, ethnomusicology is a lot of like field work related. So because the music that we're studying is music of cultures that, for the most part, still exist. If you're studying 1600 opera music, you can't go to 1600 Italy and talk to them about opera. But if you are studying the music of Chile, you can go to Chile and hang out with those people and learn that music. So ethnomusicology is a lot of travel and field work, and then coming back and either performing it or writing about it.
All right. So that being said, what was your area of expertise, if you will?
So my area of expertise, as of now in my career, is West Africa, specifically Ghana and Nigeria.
All right.
Interesting.
So you've been to these places, right?
Yeah, I was in Ghana in the summer of 2010, and I was in Nigeria the summer of 2012, and I was in Nigeria just this past summer, actually, in 2014.
So tell us about Africa. Like, what was one of the most interesting? Because you're from Minnesota, right?
I'm from Minnesota.
So being a guy from Minnesota, I would imagine going to Western Africa is kind of a culture shock of sorts.
Yeah, it was. I kind of really had no idea what to expect, but the expectations I did have, I kind of tried not to have, because you always want to, when you're traveling, you always want to kind of keep just a total blank slate, so you never have expectations about anything, so you can be, pleasantly surprised or disappointed, regardless.
Open to everything. Yeah. So what was one of the most, I guess, kind of like, I don't want to say shocking, but just like one of the most eye-opening, I guess, parts
I
of
really
going.
had no kind of preconceived notion on what the people were like, or how they would be receptive towards me, a white Jewish kid from Minnesota, poking and probing at them. But I was totally blown away, both in Ghana and in even more so in Nigeria, surprisingly, with all the stuff happening there this past year politically, how just totally warm and awesome and like friendly everybody is. Like, I didn't have a bad interaction with anybody, almost, really. Everybody was so excited, so wanted to show me around, wanted me to try their food, wanted me to, their music is the best, their food is the best, like, come talk to me, come buy my painting, everybody was just the warmest and the coolest there. Everybody's awesome.
And do you think that was because was it pretty clear that you were there kind of like studying their culture and, like trying to like make a point of being interested in them? Do you think that's why, or do you think it was just because because you're there?
Yeah, well, I think so. I was in Ghana and Nigeria for two very different kind of reasons and points of research. But in Nigeria, I was studying basically the big minority in Nigeria, their musical practices of another minority within that minority, if that makes any sense.
No, but do go on.
So I think they were really excited that someone was coming to talk to them, because they get overshadowed a lot in the country, being a double minority, as I call it. So I think that they were super receptive to me, at least being there, because they don't really get talked about that much, especially in terms of music in that region. There's a lot happening, and they kind of get overshadowed a bit sometimes. So I think they were really excited that someone was coming to talk to them about what they do. And in Ghana, I think everybody was just so happy, like, about white people. As kind of trivial and silly as that sounds. The slang word in one of the dialects from Ghana for a white person is Obroni. And everywhere we would go, people would just shout, Obroni, Obroni, and wave over to us. They were so excited to see white people. But partly because, I mean, it meant that people were actually interested in coming to study and learn and hang out with them. And yeah.
That's cool, because I mean, like, I would imagine trying to be put in that position too. Like, I would, if somebody came and the only reason that they had traveled literally halfway across the world was to, like, take an interest in who I define myself as, that'd be kind of cool.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
There's also an element of respect, too, because at that point, it's basically a stranger coming in and poking and prodding at you that could definitely, a lot of times, be unwarranted. And a lot of situations, you have to kind of, they call it scoping, which is basically just like meeting people, getting a feel for things, and basically earning their trust and respect enough that they feel comfortable talking to you and hanging out with you. And I was lucky that in Ghana, I went with a professor from West Virginia who had been there several times before, was somewhat of a local celebrity in most of these places, and did all the scoping beforehand for us. So if I was with him, I knew that I was gold. In Nigeria, I went by myself, totally alone, so I had to do all my scoping. But I was also lucky that I had a contact beforehand that I had been talking to while I was back here in Arizona that made a lot of connections for me. So.
Okay, so given 60 seconds, what is your sort of elevator pitch for your thesis, essentially?
Okay.
After spending all this time in Nigeria, in Ghana, how would you go about explaining what your thesis is?
Cool, yeah. So my thesis has nothing to do with Ghana. It's all about the musical performance practices of the Igbo Jews in Nigeria, who are kind of a mythicized people in that they are they claim ancestry to the lost 10 tribes of Israel, which I won't elaborate on now because I have 60 seconds, but basically I went to Nigeria to prove and to show that the music that they use in worship and outside of worship is a newly created music that combines elements of Jewish music, the indigenous African music styles, as well as elements of Christian music from the time during colonization.
All right, that sounds awesome.
Interesting.
You and I have had conversation about this in the past, and I would just like just to spend a little bit of time talking about it. What have you seen as far as like a fusion of like modern culture and more of their traditional cultures, and how has like the modern culture affected how they practice some of their more traditional aspects of living?
Well, I mean, so are you talking about just in general, or in terms of these specific Jews, or are you talking about just in the whole country?
Well, I don't know. Let's just talk about your experiences.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, basically, the most drastic change has occurred in the past 30 so years because of the internet. The internet has been an invaluable tool for these people to not just reach out and connect with people outside the world, but also to learn. For good and for bad, they learn so much from the internet. The issue comes in is when there's no one really fact-checking what they see on the internet, you know. And you kind of always hear, you know, of course, especially in the 90s, the stereotype of Nigerian email scams and stuff like that.
The prince.
Which is hard to kind of separate away from all the amazing people doing, you know, incredible things in that country. But the country is, you know, so when I was there, I stayed in the capital city because that was the best location to get to these kind of 4 regions that I was studying with or in. But there's, you know, that's right in the middle of the country, and it's Nigeria's on the coast, and there's a lot of the country. Most of the country is extremely rural, and so the resources are very, very different if you go 20 miles in one direction. So kind of, it's it's almost like several different countries within one country, in terms of the fact that like the landscape and the resources and everything are so different between places. But at least especially in the capital city, I mean, it was much more kind of urbanized and metropolized than I would have initially thought. That's for sure.
Sure.
That's one of the points they tell us as music educators when bringing in music like that to the classroom, is you don't want to build a frozen perception.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't want to like whenever I'm talking about other music's culture with children, I always include like, okay, here's the capital city, it's all modern, skyscrapers, all this stuff. I always include that kind of stuff because when we think of Africa,
we think of Lion King.
Yes, everybody thinks of the Lion King. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's important to try and build more of a modern. I don't know if that's the right word, but a more modern take on.
No, for sure. I mean, and even the way that technology and instrument technology has affected modern music is crazy. If you go beyond kind of the obvious indigenous musical traditions and look at some of the new genres that have formed in any of these countries that are shoots off or spin-offs of reggae and high life music and things like that have all kind of came to be because of the use of technology and the fact that they've been able to listen to and buy records and stream music on the internet from other countries. That's then changed their music. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and like you were saying earlier too, it's good to go in with an open mind, to not have these preconceptions, because that can really damage the way that you act, I would imagine there.
Definitely, yeah. And I think that's whether you're doing research or just traveling on vacation, that's like a golden rule of travel, is go in with a blank slate and an open mind for anything.
Yeah.
Even if you're traveling to like Kansas or, if it's anywhere you haven't been before, open mind, blank slate.
We are going to jump into something new here, I think. We're going to start this little tradition where we ask our guests a set of 3 questions, and every guest is going to be asked these questions. So I think it'll be interesting to see, different people's responses to these different questions. Adam, would you like to ask the inaugural question here?
Well, it's not on the thing.
All right. Well, I will. It's under.
So I don't know that.
All right. I will. We're very well coordinated here. So I will do it then.
Thank you.
All right, Lior. First question.
Okay.
What is the biggest lie you have ever told?
Oh my God.
Lior has not been I didn't feed him these questions earlier.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me a second about this.
Like it could turn out to be a lie that you've been my friend for 5 years. Like that could just be a total lie, and you actually you just hate me. It's all right.
I've got an answer that won't incriminate me too much.
All right.
When I was in college, living in Winona, Minnesota, I had a job for about a year working as a cook at Perkins Restaurant, which for those of your listeners not from that region of the country, it's like a Denny's or an IHOP. It's a diner. And it's
a beautiful diner.
I really needed a job, and Perkins was perfect because it was like just on weekends, and I could still go to all my concerts and practice and do all my homework and everything during the week. But so obviously I wanted to be a server, but when I applied, they didn't have any serving jobs, and the lady said, the hiring manager said that they had some openings in the back, and she asked if I had any experience cooking. Now, what she meant was, do I have any experience cooking professionally in a restaurant? But,
yeah, like being a cook.
Right. But the way she phrased it was, do you have any experience cooking? To which I said, yeah, I've been cooking for years. I cook all the time.
Buttered noodles doesn't count.
Making buttered noodles.
And grilled cheese.
Yeah. Cooking crappy college meals. But I somehow wormed my way around that interview and ended up getting the job and cooked at Perkins for like 9 months.
There you go. That one's pretty harmless.
Yeah, pretty harmless. Yeah, but
not too
a
bad.
pretty big lie.
Yeah. No, you got paid because of that lie.
Yeah. So.
All right. So question number 2 is, name your same-sex celebrity crush.
Ooh, okay. This is much easier than the last question. Oh my god.
I led with the toughest one.
Yeah, okay, good. My same-sex celebrity crush has got to be Zach Braff. More almost personality than physical, but of course he's a very attractive man. But ever since I started watching Scrubs as a wee kid, and then of course Garden State and all his other great projects, I just had such a man crush on that guy.
I don't blame you at all. I stole that question from Community, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
Chang's same-sex celebrity crush is Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion, yep.
In case anybody's wondering.
Just in case.
All right, our final question. It's a little deeper than that last one.
Okay.
What would you tell high school you if you had the chance?
Holy shit. High school me was such an idiot. There's like a laundry list of things.
Was?
Well, I'm not in high school anymore.
Still an idiot, though.
Still an idiot.
Current day Lior.
Oh my god. Well, okay. Like right off the bat, I would have told high school Lior to practice more.
That was mine too.
Just on a personal musician level. I like did not come into my college auditions guns blazing as I probably should have, but had a steep learning curve once I got to college. But anyway, in a somewhat more generally applicable answer, I would probably tell myself that, and this might sound kind of cliche, but I would tell high school Lior a piece of advice that someone told me a long time ago that has kind of always stuck with me. That if anything is ever going bad, ask yourself if it's okay, and if it's not okay, then it's not the end.
Yeah.
Which sounds super deep for a high schooler, but
yeah, knowing you as I do, you wouldn't have gotten it.
it just would have gone right over my head. Yeah, whatever, I'll be fine.
Then 5 years down the road, you're like, oh shit, I do make sense.
Yeah.
All right, folks. That concludes our interview with Lior here.
Yeah, Lior, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it again.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Interview 2.0. This one's less embarrassing,
2.0.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely makes you sound a lot smarter than the last
This
one
one
did.
makes me sound drastically smarter than the last interview we recorded.
Yep, I'm gonna tease it a little bit. We're gonna do this on another episode with Lior. It's my top 5 favorite Lior memories from
And
our
a lot
time
of them
together.
involve poop.
Yep.
So I come off in a much better light in this segment. So thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
a lot smarter.
Yeah.
This is you're like the $6 million interview here. We have the technology.
We can rebuild him.
Yep. All right. Your shunning in us could be louder. Scrubs reference for those of you playing along at home. So we will be back momentarily with segment 3.
Number 3. We'll see you soon.
With about 100% less stupid accents.
Or not.
We'll see when we get there.
We'll see. We'll see in a bit, guys. Welcome back. No, I'm kidding. Of course, everybody, welcome back to segment 3 of Reunited, and it feels so meh. Our shortened version.
With only 99% of a stupid, less stupid voice.
Yeah, we got to get something in there a little bit. Thank you so much to Lior for coming onto the podcast. That was a great interview. Much more informative than the last one.
Yep.
But not quite as funny.
No, but that's all right. We still had fun with the Jewish rush hour.
Yeah. We did. So thank you as well for listening. Next episode, we're going to have somebody on.
Who knows?
I don't know who it is yet, but it'll be someone.
I think we're re-recording your dad.
Okay, yeah, because he lost his episode too. So
because here on the Reunited podcast, we're very good with technology.
Well, we are. We're fine. It's our guests.
Yeah, they're not. Well, they're fine.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I don't want to shit on our guests, but
Yeah.
it is definitely all their fault.
Yep.
So
I'm taking zero blame.
Not even a little bit. So yeah, I think it'll maybe be my dad, maybe not. We'll find out. But as always, please listen and subscribe to the YouTube page. If you have any questions at all, There are numerous ways to pose them. You can ask a question on our YouTube video, on this video that you're listening to right now. You can send it to Reunited and it feels so meh at gmail.com. Or you can always post it on either of our Facebook pages or the show's Facebook page, Reunited and it feels so good. I mean, meh.
Nope.
Reunited and it feels so meh.
That's better.
Thank you.
All right. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, and as always, I'm Alex.
And I'm Adam. Keep that blue flag flying high, Chelsea fans. We're champions.
I guess so, yep.
Yeah, carefree wherever you may be.